Welcome in to the Soundflick Podcast. This is our quick dive 19. You guys really want to clap so bad? I don't think we got to clap. We're good with it.
All right, no claps.
It's QD19, and we
There's
are.
like you made my job 10 times harder.
Well,
Totally.
last time JM came, was like, you don't need to clap. I was like, oh, good. All right, whatever you say, boss. But we're back with our QD19.
Wow.
If you haven't seen our
setup?
table, our little setup over here.
And if you're just listening,
We
you
got our
should
friend
probably
over
follow
here.
us on YouTube and subscribe.
Yeah.
So that way you can see this setup.
Yeah, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Soundflick Pod.
It's beautiful.
Twitter, Soundflick Pod, and we're there
How old is that Rice
occasionally.
Krispie?
That's a really old Rice Krispie.
Oh no.
But we're not going to talk about that right
I
now
might have to
because our
place like a bet on who
Is
can-
it
who eats
green?
it.
Is it green because of Grogu or is it mold?
it could be both. It could be both. But in our last QD, we left off with Boba trying to find recruitments
Mhm.
for
Hmm.
his for this war that was coming up.
It was brewing.
It kept being like pushed at, since the first episode he was attacked, and then we knew something was boiling, something was up.
What was the final straw?
Yeah, he was like, I need more soldiers, and really they only got one soldier, and we kind of already predicted
You
who it
only
was gonna
need
be.
one.
Yeah, you only need one when it's Din Djarin. I mean,
Low key.
yeah, it was really cool, but we were spot on with that. It was kind of telling with the music in that last episode, but yeah, here we are again, continuing from that point, and right after that, we got a whole episode of Din Djarin.
Yeah.
A really, really cool episode, and people were a little disappointed, and some people were really excited. There's always going to be those people that are either on one side or the people are going to love it or hate it.
How'd
And,
you feel?
I loved it.
Like a panther.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Din Djarin was going to be in it. They had said he was going to be in it. They even said it was a Mando
2.5.
season 2.5.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that means we're gonna get Mando, and I didn't think we were gonna get Grogu in the episode after.
Not only
following-
Grogu.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that just in a bit. But before we get to Grogu, it was so cool in that episode. What was it? Episode or chapter?
Chapter
Chapter
4,
five.
Chapter
5,
five.
5, right?
Mhm.
We get to see Din Djarin pretty much still kind of be a bounty hunter, but he's really just trying to find his way back to
The
his
order.
occult, the armor, and all the pretty much other Mandalorian, pretty much to rebuild what was lost on. I don't even remember the planet they were on in the first season, but pretty much they all got separated and disbanded because of the totally. What was the guy's name who held the Darksaber before?
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon,
Mhm.
pretty much attacking the planet, and I think some Mandalorian had died. They had lost some, so in this episode, it's him trying to get back and build that up again, and then him wielding the Darksaber.
That was crazy. I
Super
loved
dope.
I loved how it was kind of like a Mando focused episode. It almost seemed like it was like a sneak peek. It was like what they did for Mando season 2 with Boba, they
Right.
did with Mando, like in this one too, right? And there was so much lore that they kind of put into it. Like you realize that after that battle, there was only 2 Mandalorians besides our Mando
Right.
who existed,
Right.
and he was kind of like looking for them and figuring out like, okay, I need to get back to them. I need to get a new ship, because like my ship is messed up.
Yeah.
Which was super dope. Like how they like just him going through that, bringing in the Naboo cruiser that was like
Yeah.
super fire, and they basically turned it into a muscle car,
Yeah.
or like a muscle starfighter, pretty much.
Very Dom Toretto.
Yeah, it was low key. Like it was. It felt
was
like
for
Fast and
family.
Furious.
It was for
It
family.
was a family whip.
It was for
The
family. And like I just thought it was really, really dope how a surprise droid made an appearance. And I don't know if you guys have ever played
Surprise
Fallen what is it? It's the Jedi Fallen Order. Fallen Order. The game for PS4. It's or in PS5, I think. It's Star Wars game that takes place after Order 66 with a Jedi named Cal Kestis. And it's a super dope game if you guys haven't played it. But there's a droid in there called BD-1, and they had a BD droid that had like the little flashlight, and it was like running around.
Yeah.
So there was like a lot of significance to seeing BD because everyone was like, wait, is this Cal Kestis BD? Like, is Cal Kestis going to show up in this episode? Like, what is happening here? Or was it just like a BD unit, you know?
Right.
But it had a similar personality as like the one that's in the game. But I just loved how they brought that together because Cal Kestis should be around, I would say probably like 40 or so during this time, like maybe 45 or something. If he survived, he'd be like a master Jedi during around this time. So that's like super dope if they're going that route, you know, since they've been taking everything from the animated series and bringing it live action,
bringing in everything that's in the video games and making it canon also.
That's the beauty of what Star Wars can do.
Right.
And I think we're seeing that more and more is like seeing both the animated and here being brought to life.
It's just dope that they're curating all these stories in different forms because you'll have the animated series and then you have the books and then you have the video games and you have the shows. And then it just, I mean, it's the same universe.
It's all the same.
Yeah, comic books.
It's not like a multiverse. It's a linear thing, so it makes sense to bring them all into those mediums. But that whole Darksaber, like when he fought, you know, the other Mandalorian, and the Mandalorian's last name being like the
Vizsla.
last name, Vizsla, the last name of the guy from, if you watch Clone Wars, who had the black lightsaber at that time too. It was like, oh, this is dope. Like, you know, out of all of them, that he's the last one that's there so that they can have that fight. And then like the emotions that are around that and how the armor was training him to use the lightsaber. I don't know. I just loved it. I was like, this is amazing.
A little Easter egg that it was Paz Vizsla was played by Jon Favreau.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So he snuck himself in there. I think even in the animated. Oh no, he's somebody else in the animated.
It's kind of thick. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's
very Jon Favreau.
It was a bigger Mandalorian for sure. But that was cool. Like I found out after the show, and I was like, "Oh, okay." That it adds just a little bit more.
I want to go back now and listen to the voice.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back and watch it for sure.
The voice is a little. It's like a voice changer, but,
right?
It's him. It's him for sure.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
It was cool to see him insert himself, and yeah, just that whole. I mean, even the sequence going back to him building the ship, like it was so cool to see that. Pretty much that whole thing happen and them going back and forth and talking about cruiser parts, and I'm just like, I've never heard these terms in like Star Wars universe, and it's cool to see them actually do this. Like it's like a pimp my ride Star Wars.
Yeah. Where's Exhibit when you need him?
No. Who's the Exhibit in the Star Wars universe?
Obviously,
what's his name from the Phantom Menace? Homeboy who owned Anakin and his mom because he was a pimp.
Oh wow,
he was.
I understood that reference.
Oh wow. Who gave this guy a soundboard?
Yeah, but pretty much that whole episode was just us catching up with Din Djarin and where he's at. And then later on, you know, in the next episode, in the end of the episode, we see him leave. We see not leave, but.
His pimped out ride.
Yeah, Fennec Shand. Speak of Thinkford, Fennec Shand finds him and is like, "Hey, we need you for a job," which is kind of weird that they knew he was back on Tatooine.
They run the spot. They got spies everywhere.
That's facts.
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, Din Djarin's on the. Hey, we need Din."
Yeah, makes it easier. He's here already.
He here now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Fennec Shand was even like, "I know where to look." She probably already knew he's.
She figured he needed the ship.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was fixing the ship like while they were on chapters 3 and 4 and stuff like that. But it was cool to see him being recruited. But he said one thing at the end of the episode, and he's like, "I still need to do one more thing before I join." And I was like, "Oh, he's gonna go to Grogu," but we talked
He was
about
like,
it in the
I need to see
messenger.
my little friend, and I
Let
was
me see my
like,
pal.
Going to your butts.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
mean, we talked about it in the messenger. We're like, no way they're gonna show Grogu. Like, this is a Book of Boba Fett. Like, this is a Boba Fett show. You know, it's like
Is it though?
at first we were like, it's a little too much,
mhm,
but then after seeing it, and then what else we got with it, we got
bruh,
Hey man, I'm just gonna say, and this could be a hot take.
it's not.
Without these episodes being brought into this show would have remained mid.
I'm with you. Well, the thing
Yeah.
is that episode 6 was probably the greatest Star Wars thing that we've ever seen
Yeah.
together.
Right.
Like, it's unimaginable how dope that really
Well,
was.
I
couldn't believe
it's
it
a lot
while I
of-
was watching it.
It's a lot of
Oh
callbacks
yeah, for sure.
from like
The
the
just
montage,
Luke's-
like
yeah.
well, just like the
Luke's
montage, and like
training, yeah.
the training and just seeing it. Well, so what I want to know too, because obviously it wasn't Mark Hamill being that, because it was just all what
It was all like an
Like
yeah,
CGI?
algorithm.
it was all CGI, and they deep faked his face.
right. So I want to know who the person was that.
It was the YouTuber who
Yeah,
did
it
it
was a
from.
YouTuber.
So a YouTuber took what happened in season 2 with Mark Hamill's face
Okay,
and like made it even better, and then Disney hired him and then had him do this episode.
Yeah.
that's fire. Which
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense because it looked amazing.
It was
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
It was incredible. What this told me is like, oh, so we can have a Luke Skywalker show.
Oh, easy.
That's what we can do. You know, because it can work.
Because the only thing holding it back is the dialogue. Because supposedly all they did was they have a database of everything that Luke said, and then they just type in what they want, and he'll say it, and then they'll kind of edit it.
Yeah, it's the equivalent to like with the TikTok algorithm now, having like Rocket Raccoon and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like
Mm.
the
So
text to speech.
it's kind of hard because like yeah, you can do it, but it's not gonna be completely human. You know, it's gonna be hard to
Yeah.
attach to it. It's kind of like how they do those copy pastas. Have you ever heard of those copy pastas?
Nah.
They'll get like there's like this long message, and people will pretty much paste it, and it'll be Jay-Z's voice saying it, or
Oh, really?
Obama's voice saying it. It sounds just like Jay-Z and Obama, but
Mhm.
obviously there's moments where it's like, oh, that doesn't sound
Yeah,
natural.
it's like a robot.
Yeah, okay.
you know?
It's not natural.
All right, yeah. I
So
got
they
you.
can do it, but it's just like they would have to either get a voice actor.
I mean, I could
or-
look past that, honestly.
I could look past
it
it,
was,
too.
Yeah,
It was
I guess.
incredible.
But you know how the Star Wars fan base is.
for
so-
sure, for sure. Well, I think they were
They'll attack it.
tripping. They were like,
But yeah,
It's
people
not
were
even-
tripping about the
I don't
whole
understand,
thing.
man. I don't get it. Like, we got Ahsoka and Luke together.
Mhm.
Are you kidding me? The
Yeah.
implications of that alone, that they
Yeah.
had a conversation, is nuts. It's nuts.
I had a conversation with one of the old like youth workers I used to work with like years ago. And dude is like huge Star Wars fan before I even really got into like watching the movies and whatnot. So I was asking him, I was like, yo, what do you think of the show? What do you think of what's happening? And especially like this episode, like what's your take on it? And he hated it.
Mm-mm.
He was so against it. He was
I
like,
feel like people saw somebody hate it, and they're like, you know what? I hate that too. Then
well,
you
because
know, like,
his thing was like,
it's kind of
well,
weird.
it's a Boba Fett show, so why are they doing this? But also, they can't have Luke Skywalker because it's not really Mark Hamill, and it's just all this technology. I'm like, dude, this is literally amazing, and this is everything that
Yeah.
most people want.
And I feel
What are
like
you
that's-
tripping about?
Those have been the main arguments. That's why I say like people saw it on social media and it just stuck with them for some reason. They're
Right.
like, oh, I guess I hate
See,
that
I
too,
can
you know?
understand that from a standpoint of like if someone's dead. Like, I don't want to see Chadwick Boseman.
I don't want to see
No.
CGI Chadwick Boseman,
yeah, I
right?
don't want to see that.
Right,
But Mark Hamill's alive,
right,
Like,
and
and
he's
he'll-
okay with it,
and he's okay
and
with it.
collecting a bag still.
Yeah, and he's like, well, he may not be collecting back because the likeness of Luke Skywalker may not be owned by him, so he may not
Yeah.
be getting it back. But
Yeah.
he's down for like all of this like
Yeah.
continuity. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
either way, I'm assuming he's getting something. But yes, I agree.
Yeah,
yeah,
probably.
and it was just dope just to see the training and just to, you got a glimpse at Grogu's memories of Order 66 happening.
66.
Right.
You got like
I want to see more of that.
yeah, like the planet was beautiful. You got the building of Luke's Jedi temple that ends up being burned by
Right.
Kylo Ren.
by Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Like there was just so much that was there that I was oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
it was
It's a lot. It was a lot.
It
It's
was
just
so emotional for a Star Wars fan, like just seeing it all.
Well, because now we're getting the in between. Now we're seeing like the early stages of all that being built. Seeing the early stages of like what Luke's plan was. Which is true. It's kind of like the reason why I hate the Assassin's Creed games, because we all know what happens at the end if you played like the third one. So it's equivalent. Like, okay, we already know what's gonna happen. To Luke, we already know what's gonna happen to this trading facility. But to see the beginning. And especially like the whole, and Grogu's gonna be the first one to be trained. And I'm like, I dig
and then we kind of know, that's not gonna happen.
I was like,
knowing what happens.
Yes, but no.
Well, I mean, it could have still, because like by the time that happened, Grogu could have been on a mission, could have been doing something else, just not there, at that time. So it was still kind of there.
I have a theory on Grogu with that later on, but. Yeah, no, the whole training montage.
It was insane.
The callback to Yoda on his back.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Flips.
Luke looked fire too. Like he was swagging in his black, bro. I'm just saying. I'm saying he was killing it, bro. He was killing it. But what was also pretty dope, I love the dialogue that
him and Ahsoka?
That Ahsoka had, not just with like her and Luke, but like her and Mando,
right?
And like her just kind of, it's that Jedi creed mixed with his creed. Like I love the the nuance of like, for a Mandalorian, your crew is what gives you power,
right.
And then for a Jedi, it's like knowing that you can lose your crew not being attached is what gives you, or is what's supposed to give you power.
Right.
And Ahsoka is kind of in the middle, that's why she's a great Jedi, because she doesn't believe fully that attachment will lead to loss, but has felt, because of her attachment to Anakin, that loss, when he went to the dark side, and like can't bring herself to like really, get past that.
Right.
But she's perfectly she's perfectly in the middle to inform Mando about like, just to pose those questions, because she's posed them to herself or had them posed to her. And I just thought that was just really, really dope. And like Mando saying like, all right, make sure he gets this, like told me like, okay, he's mature, like he's getting there,
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, he's like, damn, this is what's good for him. So.
And he lost his own thing. So he was just like, damn, like I lost my, like, I would have at least felt whole if it was just me and him, because then we could have just started our own thing.
Right.
But it's like, damn, like he has something. I lost this over here. Let me just go see Boba Fett and find out what I need to do.
Yeah, which going in this episode, there's so much that happens. I think this is the episode that we get Cad Bane in, right?
It is.
Cad motherfucking Bane.
Yeah.
This is a family podcast.
Bruh, I'm sorry, you have to say the whole thing.
Yeah.
Cad Bane is a straight up boss.
So real quick before you jump in, were you okay with his with how he looked?
Yeah, I was totally okay with
because I know a lot of people were upset.
Yeah, I mean, people were upset, and like I saw some of the renders of like, okay, yeah, could he have been made better? Sure, but the thing is that they have to allot for time passing,
right?
And everybody made him as if, like, just because he's an alien, time doesn't like affect him, or like he doesn't get old or anything like that.
He doesn't age like us.
So it fit for me. I was like, okay, well, he's mad old because he's been around since the Clone Wars and all that. Like, he's super old. But oh my goodness, bro, I was just having a conversation with my brother, like before this episode aired. Even before, like, I think we started really watching the Book of Boba Fett, and I was like, man, I can't wait that they bring Cad Bane like into live action, because he's like, I watched the Clone Wars. He's one of my favorites.
Were you thinking it was going to happen in Boba Fett?
No, I had no idea. Nope. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I was just kind of like, if they do that, that's super dope. And then we're watching the episode, and as soon as the silhouette, I'm talking about not even the close up silhouette, the far one, like of him walking.
Yeah, the very far.
I said, oh, wait, no, they did do it. I was so hyped, bro. I was jumping up and down seeing him walk up like a straight up boss that he is. He's the best bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He's the best bounty hunter. And he's like, I loved it, and I love that they had the dude who voiced him to be the voice and to play him. I can nitpick at some of the outfits. You know, I think that the hat should have been a little bit bigger. You know, I think he should have had the toothpick or the straw, the straw or whatever. You know, that those would have been cool. But
they probably tried it all and they're like, oh, it doesn't work.
That's the same thing I told my brother. I was like, they probably like wore everything and then was just like, you know what, let's just go with this. This looks good on camera. It works.
Yeah, minimalist.
Exactly. Yeah. But he came through and he did that. And like people, like, you know, Cad Bane, he trained Boba. You know, like if you watch the Clone Wars, like he started training Boba in being a bounty hunter.
There's even like this super like low quality render of Cad Bane and Boba doing like pretty much one of those standoffs, the old Western standoffs, and it shows how Boba got the dent in his helmet.
Yeah,
and it's weird how it's canon because like it's just terribly rendered, but it's out there, and they're like, yeah, that's canon. Like, okay, you're not even gonna try to clean it up a little bit,
bruh.
Like, nope.
And you're just thinking like when you're watching Empire Strikes Back, it's like, oh, like he had a face to face with Cad Bane, and like and survived. Like it would have been a wrap.
Yeah, and that's the thing about seeing all these like episodes now and seeing all these in betweens, extra story, more screen time. It adds more depth to that character. That when you go back and you watch those movies and you see that character, you like start to really piece things together differently. You know, it really adds. It's kind of like what Marvel's doing in their shows. You know, you want to go back and watch the movies, and you see the movies, and you're like, oh, I see that character so differently now. They're not just a background character anymore.
That's how I felt when I remember in Iron Man 2 when the like the judge, he ends up being like Hydra, but we don't see that until like
and later on
Winter Soldier. That's kind of like what it reminds me of when they do shit like this.
Totally. But I enjoyed everything about that episode. It was the best piece of Star Wars that I've seen in a long time.
I think that was a Dave Filoni episode. That one and the one before. With Din Djarin and then
Dave Filoni is the man.
Luke Skywalker. Yeah,
he is the man. Him and Jon Favreau. Give him the reins. Give him all the money. Don't restrict them ever. Like, just let them.
I mean, I think they've done nothing but prove themselves correct throughout all these shows.
Yeah. So I mean, even with the Clone Wars, that's all That's all Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
So,
how do you guys feel about the finale of Boba Fett?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. I mean, it wasn't.
I thought it was
It wasn't what 5 and 6 was, and I think that's what people were expecting, but which is a little bit, you know, of Boba's of the whole episode's fault, you know. But I don't know. I really liked it. You know, we got a live action Rancor really going.
Yeah, that was good.
Dope. That was dope.
And then we got the rematch with Boba.
I just don't understand. Like, that was dope. That was super dope. But it's just him riding a Rancor. I don't know. I think it would have been like cooler if like he just had command over the Rancor. Like,
that was cool.
Overall, for me, and again, just speaking for me, like everything that it was, because it was a slow burn until you get into those Mando episodes, and the buildup just jumps, like skyrockets. And
that's every Disney Plus show.
I was gonna comment on that Disney too.
Even WandaVision.
I think that Disney Plus hasn't done well, with their finales, with closing out their shows. You know, all of their shows. I mean, I would say Mandalorian probably has the best closeout. Season 2.
But that's the most original.
The most original. Exactly, that's the most original. So they were able to close it out in a way that they wanted to. But like, they haven't been able. Like, it always seems rushed. You know, like they do these things, and it's like it's the penultimate episode is always amazing.
Yeah,
and then it's like, all right, now we got to close all these.
One thing we always bring up is like, yo, how are they gonna fit all this at the end? Which is something we talk about, like pretty much every, like damn near every quick dive that we do with all shows.
And they cram everything in, and everybody has told me, all my friends are like, they just crammed everything in the end, which is like, it's cool.
This one just felt way more evident than most, because like the WandaVision one was like, okay, like there was wiggle room and there was enough. Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was like, Like it wasn't amazing, but it was like
WandaVision was the most slow burn one. We got like 4 episodes of.
Well, that was a 10-episode series?
Yeah, it was a 10-episode series. It was the longest.
And this was only what 7 chapters, 6 chapters?
Yeah,
7 chapters.
Most of them are like 7 to 8 episodes.
And 2 episodes hardly had Boba. So yeah, I mean, I can see why they. I mean, they didn't really cram a lot in the end. You know, we kind of already knew what was going to happen, and we. It's
just going to get picked up in Mando, I think. It's just going to get picked up in Mando or touched on, because I don't think we're going to get another Book of Boba Fett.
No, I think we will.
I mean, maybe.
I think we will.
Maybe. I think we could.
I mean, at the end,
I don't know the story that they're gonna tell though. Like, if Boba's gonna stay there in Tatooine, like, I don't know what the story is. I would love to see is that, like, now that this has happened,
maybe Jabba the Hutt's still alive.
No, I think Jabba is still.
Dead.
Come on,
you think so?
They can bring anybody back.
They can bring anybody back.
I think Jabba's still alive.
Well, my whole thing is that, like, okay, well, are they gonna go back to Tatooine in any of the live action movies and show that Boba is still running that place?
I don't know. That would be cool.
I feel like that would be dope.
Yeah, I mean,
well, so movie wise, do you think Star Wars is going to tackle anything soon, or do you think they're just going to stay within shows because that's like their bread and butter as of right now?
They're definitely going to do a movie soon.
Yeah, there's a movie coming out next year, I believe. I don't remember the name.
I don't know the name either, but I know that they're working on a movie
next year.
Yeah. But we just need that Obi-Wan, bro.
May 24th?
25th.
I thought it was going to be May the 4th.
No.
For Obi-Wan,
but
the reason
that's a fake Star Wars holiday.
Dang,
yeah, but it's not fake.
Like,
it's because it's May the 4th.
Yeah, but even Star Wars will be tweeting about it, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
But either way, May 25th is actually the very first. Exactly. It's the anniversary of when
that's
Obi-Wan.
The real Star Wars holiday.
Oh, May 25th is the real, because it's a New Hope.
Yeah, exactly, the anniversary.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yes, but
not to take anything away from it, but that's just
yeah. You took it away. Took it away already.
I mean they did, not us.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the little call, or not callback, but like the having Thundercat make another appearance for the finale.
I'm glad that they.
I love Thundercat.
Cobb Vanth is gonna get himself some. He's gonna get some robotics, some prosthetics.
Probably.
Yeah. Nah, I think it was like because he got shot in his heart.
He got shot in the heart. He's gonna get
in the shoulder.
Oh, okay. That would be pretty dope if he gets like a whole.
Yeah, like a whole arm, like a cyborg arm.
Yeah, that'd be hard.
I'm dead.
That'd be super hard.
That'd be pretty cool. But
I mean, Fennec Shen, it's pretty much all.
Or her whole torso is basically. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. No. Overall, though, I did like that last episode. I mean. We got Chris Anthon again, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Although he should have died.
Yeah, I was gonna say he
got shot. He super got shot up multiple times. Got his like ankle broken, and like he's still like, all right,
he's still limping over here. We also got a really cool moment with Din and Boba. Pretty much saying like, I'm not leaving you. Like if you die, if I die, pretty much.
This is the way.
This is the way. And I was like, that is deep.
Yeah, that's hard.
Right there.
That's hard.
That was deep.
Yeah, because Boba doesn't really like.
He doesn't know anything about. He's a clone.
He's a clone, and he doesn't look at it like I'm a Mandalorian.
He only has the armor because of his father. It was his father.
Yeah.
Which is pretty. I mean, I was hoping that they kind of explained that. That's my only thing about this show. Is like they showed like the him in the back to tank and like the flashbacks of him as a kid seeing his father go, but I was really hoping that like
they're gonna deep dive.
Yeah, because his father is clearly a Mandalorian.
And I guess that's
like.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
But he didn't really pass on that creed. He took off his helmet too all the time.
I mean, that would be a pretty fire
episode
story,
too.
But there's two different types of Mandalorians. There's those ones that believe in that
the old
creed
order,
in the way, and then there's people that don't really care about that, and
this
it's just armor,
right?
But yeah, I thought that's what we're gonna get in 5 and 6. More backstory on that, but. They went away from the flashbacks like we predicted. There wasn't, now that he was out of the back to tank, there was not going to be no more flashbacks, and that's exactly what they did. And I think it was the right thing to do. And obviously, now that we finished and we caught up with Boba, it was nice that they gave us something like Din, Luke, and then Grogu. Super dope. Grogu actually calming down the Rancor. And then taking a nap.
Yeah, well, he has that force ability to speak to animals like how Ezra has in Rebels, which is really dope.
So it was cool. And I mean, Grogu kind of stole the show. Really.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Especially pounding the little ball on the glass.
Yeah,
trying to get Din's attention. That was very spot on to what kids are. Very annoying.
You speak from experience, Skywalker.
Because you have so many children, Skywalker.
Yes.
Overall, what do you guys rate the show out of 10?
I give it an 8.
Agreed.
Give it a 7.5. I'm almost there.
Yeah, an 8. Yeah. And I'm excited for what's next. I think.
Yeah. Any expectations or anything you kind of think they're gonna tackle as far as Mando?
They can. I mean, if we're gonna speak about Boba future, I think they can even bring back Mace Windu. Jabba the Hutt. I mean, he has people that can be his enemies, given the position that he's in now.
Right.
And then the whole Mace Windu thing with killing his father, and even Tamora in an interview said that would be really cool. I would love to, do something with Samuel L. Jackson.
I don't think that they should bring Mace Windu back, but I think that where Boba is now, he's kind of like made peace. Like the character has made peace with like where he's going.
Yeah, so I don't think the story would continue from where this leaves off. I feel like it would be great if they were to tackle a story about him and his father, him becoming a clone, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
with more backstory.
Where I can see is like them using the actor just like how they did with Luke and de-aging him or doing a deep fake of him playing Django again and like Django pulling up in like a certain situation, and that would be dope. Not like a current timeline, but like back in the day, you know what I mean? Just to get a little bit more context.
I mean, even with Cod Bane, Cod Bane is dead as far as we know, but I think we will still get Cod Bane in older shows that happened before.
He's a straight up boss.
Yeah.
So I was so glad to see him.
I think we will even see him in Kenobi. Because we're supposed to get Jedi hunters
Kenobi
in the show, so maybe he makes a pop-up appearance, and it's on Tatooine, so.
Yeah, that's actually pretty fire, because that would be a good way to kind of introduce him. Because as far as we know, there could be tons of like cameos and tons of more people popping up. So them slowly trickling in all these people just to show them in a, I guess if you want to call it an earlier story, would be fire.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we're going to see more. I think what's going to advance this particular story is Mandalorian Season 3 and the Ahsoka series. I think those are going to be the two things that push this forward.
Rosario Dawson's so fine.
Yeah. But I loved it. Shout out to Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. It was great. It was a great filler for
great job,
Mando.
fellas.
Yeah.
Dang, Ferrick.
For sure. Give you all a round of applause.
Huzzah.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah. Really cool. Next quick dive is probably going to be close to Kenobi. No?
Nope, it's going to be Moon Knight, my brother.
We got Moon Knight coming, and then so what? So our show schedule as of right now, as far as we know, is Moon Knight, then Kenobi?
Yeah.
Unless another show kind of pops up, because we have like that Invincible series coming up, and
it'll be Moon Knight and Kenobi. I think The Boys too is like popping up also. So, but yeah, man, this has been our quick dive on the last 3 episodes of,
it's kind of quick.
of Boba Fett. We appreciate y'all for listening. Definitely check out the full series on Disney Plus.
Wow.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know. I want to know.
Skywalker Mike wants to know. It's in his name.
Yes. Make sure y'all follow Skywalker Mike and let him know.
And that Rice Krispie treat is almost over a year old.
Yeah, dog.
All right.
Let us know. We'll mail it to you.
Don't eat it.
Whoever messages Skywalker Mike first gets this old ass Rice Krispie treat.
Yes, that's a great
You're welcome.
Gift. Great reward.
From Uncle Cinny.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Later.
Bye.